Happy Friday, sinners. I'm back. And look, I'm in nature. Well, not really. I'm on my balcony, enjoying my lovely view of prime Fairfax real estate. Yes, a lovely tree blocking the parking lot and the apartment building next door. Gotta love it. But, yes, it is morning for me. Well, morning not by the traditional definition, because morning for me is whenever the hell I wake up. And I'm having my cup of morning juice. Yes, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon for those of you who operate on a normal schedule. But yes, it is a beautiful day, and I am extremely excited because we've been having nothing but freezing cold weather or rain. This is the first day that I've actually been able to go outside to make a video, which is what I've been wanting to do for a while. So I'm going to be kind of running errands today. My friend Joe is coming down from Baltimore, and we're going to hang out. So you're actually going to see a little bit of me running around doing errands, and while it's not the most exciting thing, it's not me sitting in my room making a video and doing nothing else. But yeah, so happy Friday. I already said that. Wow. More coffee. But yeah, so I'm going to actually do this a little bit differently, and I'm going to answer the questions from last week before I make the rest of my video. So, first and most importantly, we have a viewer question from Dark Priestess. Hello. She actually wanted to know what our favorite donut was. Excellent question. My favorite donut is actually of the traditional variety. Ever since I was a kid, glazed donuts have been the bomb for me. When I was like, God, as early as I can remember, my parents used to go out and run errands every weekend, and we would always stop at the convenience store and get coffee for them and orange juice and breakfast for us. My mom would always get me a small orange juice and a glazed donut. So amazingly, I'm not 400 pounds because this was almost I think every weekend, maybe? I don't know. It's all a blur. That's 30 years ago. But yes, glazed donuts are my absolute favorite. They're delicious, and to this day I could eat an entire box of them. Luckily, I don't. And now to answer my own question about the most awkward or comedic date that I've ever had. Because you'll notice that I cut my video off last week and I didn't answer the question. That's because my video ended up being 16 minutes long. I really need to work on my editing skills. But my most awkward date actually never happened because it's highly amusing. So it was an online meetup, and this guy was tattooed all over his face, which I thought was interesting, because I'm a sucker for tattoos. He was also a renowned psychic, apparently, which kind of set off some alarm bells, but I was like, whatever, he'll at least be interesting conversation. So the way that this ended up playing out was he and I met online. We talked and hit it off, and he wanted to hang out, and I'm like, okay, awesome, let's do that. I was at work until 2 in the morning, and the plan was I was going to get off work, and then we were going to meet up and go for a late dinner at IHOP or something. Well, that night, I'm waiting to hear from him, and my friend Josh calls me from Delaware. And Josh was coming down to Virginia because he's about to move down here. This was last year. He was about to move down here, but his friends that he was going to stay with that weekend were out of town until tomorrow. And so he was calling to ask if he could crash at my place. At first I was kind of well, I don't know, because I have this date, and I don't know what's going on with him. Let me try to get a hold of him. So I call this guy, who doesn't answer. And I'm like, alright, I'll try him on AIM. So I get him on AIM, and he's like, yeah, I'm actually working a bachelorette party doing tarot readings, and I don't know how long I'm going to be. So, he was just like, I'll let you know when I'm done. We're doing the last round of readings, and I'll be done in an hour, and then we have to clean up or whatnot. And I'm like, okay, so I at least had enough time to get my friend to my house, and then run back out to meet up with this guy. So I called Josh back. And I'm like, well, my date's not ready. He's going to be a little while, so, get down to Fairfax. I'll leave work, go let you into my apartment, and then, I'll go to my date, and then we can hang out when I get back. So Josh comes down to Fairfax, and it's now about 1 o'clock in the morning. I get off at 2. I haven't heard from my tattoo face date, and crap. So, before I was so rudely interrupted by the person holding the camera right now, I was finishing the story of my awkward, funny date. So, yeah, So it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I still haven't heard from Mr. Tattoo Face. And I'm kind of starting to get concerned. And so I end up trying to call him again, and he doesn't answer. And so I'm like, okay. So I just call my friend Josh, and I'm like, you know what? Date's standing me up. Go ahead and come down, and we'll just hang out or whatnot. So then Josh is like, well, actually, I'm meeting a friend for dinner. And I might just want to come to your place, take a shower, and then come back afterwards. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever, you know. So I get off work at 2, and, you know, call Josh, and he's kind of being odd on the phone, and I'm like, why is he being so quiet? But anyway, that comes to fruition later. I get off work, Josh calls me, and we end up meeting at my house, and as we're walking to my apartment, you know, he's just like, yeah, I just went on the most awkward dinner date ever, I swear to God. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's just like, this guy was really weird. He was just kind of out there. And as a joke, I'm like, oh, let me guess, his name is blank, and he's got tattoos all over his face, he's a world-renowned psychic, and yeah, and I'm laughing, and I turn to Josh to look at him, and he's got this, like, appalled look on his face, and he's like, how did you know? And I was like, no, you're kidding me. So yes, as it turns out, this lovely psychic had been talking my friend Josh up for a while, and this is before Josh was coming down. So I got stood up by this psychic guy for my good friend Josh, who had come down from Delaware. And so we just start laughing. And I call the psychic guy, and I just leave him a message, and I'm like, hey, by the way, I'm hanging out with my friend Josh, who you apparently just stood me up for. You know, you're supposed to be this world-renowned psychic, but you couldn't even figure out that you were standing someone up for someone that they knew, even when he apparently was on the phone with me at one point while you were in the car. Dude, I think you need to change your occupation. So yeah, that was my comedic date, and Josh and I extremely enjoyed ourselves mocking him to this day. By the way, Josh is actually on my list of channels that I am subscribed to on my personal channel. His name is Josh Collier. He does a lot of makeup tutorials, so since I talked about him, I'm giving him a shout out as well. But anyway, that was my answer to the questions, and I've probably gotten up to like 5 or 7 minutes in my video so far. So for that, I'm actually going to cut off for now. And I'm on my way to the library and then to run some other crappy errands. I might edit something else in later, but for now, talk to you later. So I guess I lied a little bit when I said that there was going to be a lot of footage of me being out and about this week, because I kind of forgot to take the camera in with me when I went shopping. But the question of the coming week. So yes, if you were a celebrity, what kind would you be? Would you be a singer, an actor, dancer, porn star? I don't know. Just what kind of celebrity would you be? That is my question for you this week, Deadlies. As far as myself, I would either be an actor, because I actually have the talent to do that. It's something I've done in the past. I just kind of stopped working on. Or if I actually ever got vocal training, I would be a singer. And I would do the whole, like, rock star life. But unfortunately, I never took training, and I can't hold a note to save my life. But yes, that is my question for each of you this week. And viewers, if you want to answer in the comment section, please do. And also, the rest of the Deadlies, please feel free to pose your own questions. Since there's only 5 of us right now, that would be 4 questions each. So let's liven things up a little bit, give some more variety. So guys, in your videos, please toss out some questions for the viewers and the rest of us Deadlies to answer. That being said, I am now going to go home and edit this video so I can actually get it up. Wow, get it up. That's awesome. That just sounds so dirty. But, yeah, I will see you guys next Friday.